सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी, बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश बिकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबेको आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि संभाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहीं श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहांते, कभी कौबिद कभी सखे कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपत दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंधि महा सुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। कीजय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान। In the previous session, it was a very engrossing session about the do's and don'ts of a human life and a human birth. हमें क्या करना चाहिए और क्या नहीं करना चाहिए। कहते हैं ना, जो हमारी परिभाषा है अच्छे की, वही शायद गलत हो गई है। Our definition of good has become flawed. We have become so self-deluded, so self-involved, so self-centered, that we have actually shrugged all the responsibilities that we have towards our extended world. Why have we shrugged all this responsibility? Because somewhere we don't connect anymore. We feel that my responsibility lies only towards my immediate circle, my family, my blood relation, not knowing the deeper connection that each and every thing, each and every individual, each and every soul has. The people who know this kind of a connection, these people have their names etched in the history and in the hearts of all existing beings. ज़्यादा दूर जाने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. When we look at our इतिहास, when we look at the kings like Shivaji, when we look at the kings like Maharana Pratap, when we look at Rani Lakshmi Bai, what they did, when we look at Guru Gobind Dev Ji, जो उनने करा, क्या वो स्वार्थ के लिए था? नहीं. Their vision and their hearts were beyond what words can describe. They were all accepting. And hence, when they acted not for any selfish pursuit, but for the greater good. शायद हम महाराणा प्रताप या शिवाजी या फिर महारानी लक्ष्मीबाई की तरह से नहीं बन सकते. इतना शायद हमें सामर्थ्य, इतना हमें बल, इतनी हमें शक्ति नहीं है. किंतु जितनी भी हमारी पहुंच है, जितनी भी हमारी क्षमता है, जितने भी हमारे दायरे हैं, उनको थोड़ा सा और खींच सकते हैं ना. Can we not be there for that one extra person who has no relation to us whatsoever? Can we not be there for that one who has nobody to support? Can we not for once think of the plants and the animals who do not have the power of speech to tell us what their problem is? No. We are so self-engrossed that the thought of going beyond our daily needs and routine does not occur. And even if it does, it is just to satisfy ourselves by saying, yes, a little bit has been done. And when Naradji saw this kind of an attitude in the Kuber Kumars, Manigreva and his brother, he had to give them a what? He had to give them a blessing. It was not a shrap. See, all these people like Narad Muni, the great sages, they are very pious and loving. They do not act out of anger. They are always established in equanimity. They are always self-realized. But how can they curse? They blessed the Kuber Kumars to get enlightened, to know the Lord, that divine. When He touches us, all our vices vanish. And He also gave them the experience of what agony can be. He turned them into trees, right? So that they have to face the weather, right? No shield, no cover. Probably we all are in the same category, right? Just like the Kuber Kumars. They had ample. We with our little also behave like them. And when troubles come our way, when hardships come our way, this is what they are indicating. They are not there to deter us from the path of righteousness. They are there to bring us on the path of righteousness. They are like a jolt on us. It has this Leela, this beautiful Damodar Leela, got over. And again, Ma Yashoda picked up her son, they went away. But the thought was recurring in their mind as to, is Gokul safe for Shri Krishna? Because ever since his birth, first Putna, then Shaktasur, then Trinavrat, and now the falling of the two Arjun trees, it could have really, he was a small little child. So somewhere in their mind, they felt that Gokul per se is not safe for Shri Krishna. They started thinking about one simple fact, that probably it is time to move on, find a safer place, somewhere where Shri Krishna, their beloved child, not only, now this was not the thought of only Nanda Baba, this was even the thought of all the gopis, the cowherd boys and the cowherd girls and the cowherd ladies and the cowherd men. They all wanted to protect Shri Krishna. They could not see him being troubled or him being in any danger. Hence, the thought was alike in everybody that probably it is time that we leave Gokul, and they identified a place called Vrindavan. It was next to the Yamuna. They said the land is fertile, right? Vrindavan, we can go to Vrindavan and we can live there. Probably this place Gokul is not conducive or is not safe for Shri Krishna. With this thought, they all decided to, in a few days, just imagine the entire village, everybody basically from old to young with all their belongings, just to safeguard Shri Krishna, were willing to shift from Gokul to Vrindavan. Just this thought actually makes me think, how much love did they have for their Lord? How much love that they were willing to uproot everything and move. कितना प्यार था. कभी सोच के लगता है ना कि अगर हमारे से ये कहा जाए कि भगवान के लिए, ठाकुर जी के लिए तुम्हारे को यहाँ से यहाँ जाना है या ये से ये करना है, हम तो हमारा शेड्यूल तक नहीं बदलते, है ना। अगर कुछ काम आ जाए तो हम ठाकुर जी के लिए वो काम तक नहीं छोड़ते। इनने तो अपनी भूमि छोड़ दी, वाई? टू प्रोटेक्ट श्री कृष्ण। So Jabhi Shri Krishna came amongst them, right? That is why he gave them darshan. That is why he was doing all this leela. That is why he was going to each and every house and eating makhan. That is why uninvited he was entering, invited he was entering. He was liberating, he was giving them joy because they had this kind of a devotion for the Lord. हमें भक्ति तो लेश मात्र है नहीं, प्यार है नहीं, फिर हम बोलते हैं ठाकुर जी कहाँ? Where is God? Why isn't he helping me? Why should he help you? सोचो ना। So just imagine, the entire village was willing to shift away just to safeguard this little beloved Sri Krishna. You know, the one who had a moorpunk on his head and the mischief he used to play. It was not only Nand Baba and Ma Yashoda who had this thought. It was the entire town. And this question has to come to us. How far are we willing to go for our dharma, for our God, for our beliefs, for our culture, for our bhumi? What is our limit? How much can we sacrifice for this divine? सोचो. And this is something that has to be introspected. कि अगर कभी, if I have to give up everything just to save my Lord when the time comes, just for my dharma, just for probably my country, how much am I willing to give up? Am I willing to change my entire existence or give up my entire existence for this one cause? And if the answer is yes, yes, darshan होंगे आपको, अनुभूति होगी. पर how many of us can say yes without a second thought? If there is a problem, if there is a calamity, if there is any danger on my dharma, on my God, I am willing to give up all and move on. Move on where? Move on ऐसे नहीं कि, to protect yourself. Move on to go to a place where this all is protected. Take it from this perspective. Now, how much are you willing to do for your Sanatan Dharma? How much are you willing to do for your country? सोचो, बार बार ये पूछो अपने आप से. अभी मैं नहीं पूछ रही हूँ बार बार, आपको ये अपने आप से बार बार पूछना है. आप क्या त्याग करने को तैयार हो? ये थे गोकुलवासी. ये थे simple cowherd men and women. Simple. Very simple people. They did not have the means to destroy the demons. They did not have the means to fight Kans. They did not have the means, right? They were not that powerful. They did not have the weapons. They did not have the dhanrashi to stand up against what was happening. But they had the courage to do what was needed to protect Shri Krishna. ऐसे भी लोग होते हैं, होते ही है. इतिहास गवाह है, हमने देखा है. Why should we go all the way 5,000, 6,000 years back to when Shri Krishna was there? Let's go a few hundred years back. And when you look at the times when the Mandir Pandit or Mandir Pujaris, they lifted their Bhagwan and they ran to save him. जब उन पे आक्रमण होने वाला था, क्यों भागे वो? बिकॉज उनमें विश्वास था कि इस विग्रह में, इस मूर्ति में जान है, इसमें प्राण है, इसमें मेरे प्रभु बसते हैं, इसको कैसे हम तोड़ने दें? लेकिन भागे वो. एक नहीं, दो नहीं, कितनी जगह अपनी जान को जोखिम में डालते हुए अपने प्रभु को बचाने के लिए वो भागे. आप कह दो कि केवल मूर्ति ही थी? उनके लिए उनके परमात्मा थे. ठाकुर जी को लेके भागे, अपने परिवार को लेके नहीं भागे, वो ठाकुर जी को लेके। और आज का जो जमाना है, हम ठाकुर जी से अलग ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में भागते हैं। सोच के कभी कभी दुख होता है। कहते ना, देख तेरी संसार की हालत क्या हो गई भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। वो संस्कार जो हम में थे, वो मातृभूमि और अपनी संस्कृति और अपने प्रभु के प्रति जो हमारा स्नेह था, वो कहाँ गया? कब हम लोभी कपटी बन के बैठ गए? कब हुआ ये? When did this happen? When did we become so self-centered? Where did this love for our country, our Lord, our nation, our Sanskriti, our religion disappear? How come that inferiority came in place, that heen bhavna? A systematic, step by step degradation of us and our belief systems has happened. It's a really sad phenomena that today very few will stand up and say, nahi, this is what is our belief system, this is what we believe, and this is what we are going to protect, and no, what everybody is saying is not right. Not many want to fall into this controversy, because as long as you are okay, as long as your immediate belief systems are okay, as long as you are getting what is needed, as long as your children are getting what is needed, as long as there is ample food and money in your houses, who cares what is happening to the Sanatan Dharma? Who cares what is happening to our Sanskriti? Who cares what is happening to our country? हमें क्या लेना देना? खाओ पियो मौज करो. But we have to remember, why is it that Narad Muni gave this shrap to Kuber? Because he said कि भाई, if this is the way you want to live, then you rather be a plant or a tree. जड़ पदार्थ ही बन जाओ. क्योंकि humans, what is that that differentiates us from the animals? The power of discretion, isn't it? If we are not willing to use it, see, everything else is the same. Everything, the enjoyment, the senses, the desires, sab same hai. As one Mahatma says, that a pig finds great joy and, in rolling in mud, and you find great joy in rolling in wealth. What is the difference? There is a difference. In this human birth, we can realize, if we are not using the human birth to the fullest of its ability, what is the point of having it? Chodo na. And that is why when Narad Muni saw all this, he cursed them to just become trees. Arjun trees. No humility. You don't want to bend. You don't want to give. You don't want to cover. कोई शर्म लाज है नहीं. यही हुआ है. Even today, पहनने ओढ़ने का कोई ध्यान नहीं. Unfortunate. कभी कभी लगता है ना, हमारा क्या इतिहास है, क्या संस्कृति है, क्या धर्म है, और उसका कितना भयंकर रूप से नाश हो गया है. कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है? कौन जिम्मेदार है? अगर गोकुलवासी, आप ये सोचिए, इफ द गोकुलवासीज डिड नॉट टेक द स्टेप, if they said, no, we are happy in Gokul, it does not matter what happens to Shri Krishna and Nand Baba and their family, why should we all shift? That is the attitude that we hold, right? मौज रहो बस्ती में, आग लगे बस्ती में, हमें क्या लेना देना? As long as that calamity is not in my house, who cares? They could have also had that attitude, but they did not. They did not. This is our Sanskriti, where the hearts are big and love is immense. The nature of care is beyond that selfish desire and selfish needs. That this is what happened. So what they did is they decided to pack up and leave. And it takes a little time, isn't it? So everybody is busy, everybody is winding up things. Just imagine an entire village is shifting, entire everybody, from the children to the old people, everybody is shifting. So of course it'll take some time, isn't it? So while this was happening, there was this lady. She was also preparing. She did not have much on her. Her name was Sukhiya. And Sukhiya used to sell fruits, right? And every day she would go around selling fruits. Fal le lo, buy my fruits, buy my fruits. And this is how she used to, that was her way of earning her living. So this is what she used to do. So, but she had this very strong desire to meet Krishna. And she has an immense love towards Sri Krishna. And every time when she would cross Nanda Baba's house, the thought would come to her mind about Sri Krishna, and instead of saying, fal le lo, buy some fruits, she will say, Krishna le lo, Krishna khareed lo, because that was all that was running in her mind. So सोचो, एक भक्त अपने भगवान को भी खरीद सकता है, बेच सकता है. अरे भक्त की जो मस्ती है वो अलग ही होती है. मीराबाई कहती है ना, मैंने लियो तराजू तोल. ठाकुर जी को ये भक्त की शान है जी, वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. So she used to go and she did a lot of tapasya. So they would say, "Tum ye karo," so she would do that. She would say chanting all the time, everything. All she wanted was the samipya, to get close to Sri Krishna. And and every time she would take the parikrama of the house, Nanda Baba, Maya Yashoda and Krishna Ji's house, she would take a full parikrama of that house, always. So again, at this time, she was doing the parikrama of the house, and she kept saying, Krishna le lo, Krishna le lo, Krishna le lo, Krishna le lo. And at that very moment, who came? Chutte se pyare se balak, around 3-4 years of age. And he came running outside because he wanted to buy the juiciest of mangoes that this Sukhiya was selling. He ran to her and said, give me some mangoes. Now Sukhiya was about to give, and then she said, if I give it to him, he will run away and go inside. Right? So, and then he won't come back out, but I want to see him again. So she said, no, Babu, Krishna, iska to bol dena padega, you'll have to pay for these mangoes. Krishna said, kya dena padega? I don't have anything to give you. She said, do you have some anaj? Do you have some grain? Do you have some rice? Wahi jaake le aao. So he went inside and he gathered some grain in his hands. And there are certain versions in which they say that Ma Yashoda said, ki go get something and give it to her. So whatever be the reason, so he went inside and he got some grains in his hands. Chutte haath. And, his hands were like, the grain kept dropping while he was walking. And by the time he reached Sukhiya, there was nothing left in his hands. He looked at her, he smiled, and he ran back inside. Again, he gathered some grains, gehu, apne haath mein liya. And again, wheat grains. And again, he rushed because he wanted to have some mangoes. But by the time he reached Sukhiya, again, all the grains were gone. Again, he gathered some. Again, he rushed. Again, he went back. Again, by the time he reached Sukhiya, a lot was gone. And this time, somehow, when he went for the 4th or the 5th time, and Sukhiya is watching, because it is not that she wants the grain. It is that she does not want to leave Sri Krishna. She wants to keep seeing him because she knows the minute she gives him the fruits, he'll run away and go inside. And then he won't come out. So the last time she had pity. She said, बच्चा थक गया हो गया, छोटे छोटे बच्चा, नन्हे नन्हे पैर, कड़ी कड़ी धूप, उस पे चल रहा है, नंगे नंगे पैर. तो she said, नहीं. बोले, कृष्ण, कोई बात नहीं. बोले, एक ही दाना बचा बा, एक कड़ है गेहूं का, क्या करूं? So she said, डाल दे. So he put only 1 grain of wheat in her basket, and Ma Sukhiya said, how many fruits do you want? He said, I thought you were going to give me all of them. I want everything. बासुकिया हंसी, बोले बाबू और चाहिए, पूरा चाहिए? हाँ, तो बोले पूरा ले ले. She gave him the entire content of the basket for what? 1 grain. जो भी था सब दे दिया. And Sri Krishna ran inside with great joy. He ran inside with that basket of fruits, and Basukya just looked at 1 grain, and it just so happened that that particular day she was unable to sell fruits to a lot of other people. So she had nothing much but this 1 grain of wheat in her hands, and with that she walked to her house thinking, what is she going to eat today? That was a thought that was going on in her mind. And when she entered her house, she felt that this basket was empty and there was only 1 grain in that basket. Yet, why was the basket so heavy? And with this thought, she actually was panting while she was lifting the basket. So she put the basket down and she removed the cloth which was covering the basket. And to her surprise, the entire basket was full of jewels and gold, and all precious stones were there in this basket. She was astonished. She did not know what had happened. It was just a grain of rice or a grain of wheat which had turned into so much. And she could not put one and one together. She could not understand the entire thing. And she sat down wondering that divine is so merciful that for what I had given, he gave me so much. But the thought behind this is, what is it that got her so much? She was willing to give away everything she had, in spite of the fact that she had not earned anything during the day and she had nothing to eat at home. Even though that was the case, she was willing to give everything to Sri Krishna for only 1 grain of wheat. And hence, in return, what she got was a basket full of gold. Not that she wanted anything from him. She just wanted to have darshan of him. She just wanted to see him. She just wanted to give him what he wanted. And the fruits, many of them were not even fresh, because for a long time she could not sell much. Yet she gave away everything that she had and went back. And with this kind of a feeling, or when this kind of a bhav comes, that is when the Lord works through you and he walks towards you. But if we feel that without any hurdle, without any test, the Lord is going to give us everything, that won't happen. And many a times, these great people like Sukhya, or be it Ma Shabri, or maybe be it the Kevat, they don't want anything from the Lord. But the Lord says that if you have my darshan, and if there is full samarpan and surrender, it cannot go empty. Even just by my darshan, you will get something or the other that you desire. Even if there is no desire, I will give you something that you need. So this is a result of the total surrender and samarpan without wanting anything in the true sense. And that is when this happens. That is when one Shabri or one Sukhya or one Kevat gets full liberation from the cycle of life and death. Not only this, the Sukhya was given so much of wealth that she never had to work again. The small little boy, this magical little boy that had come to Gokul had somehow changed their entire life. Just imagine. And now the Sukhya is also willing to move with everybody, because now they want to protect Krishna, isn't it? And they feel Gokul is not safe for Shri Krishna. So that entire village is shifting to Vrindavan for safeguarding the Lord. And so they all start moving. They all pack up and they all go to a totally new place to settle in. Why? For Krishna. And it is said that they form a crescent-shaped gad, kind of a crescent shape, where the buildings, that the buildings are put in a crescent shape. All the houses and the huts are put in a crescent shape. In the middle is Sri Krishna's house. So from wherever they are, they can keep a watch on him or they can see him. So not even for a single second would they be not able to see him. So this is how they build their houses in Vrindavan. So while they are working, while they are talking, while they are walking, whatever they are doing, they can have a direct darshan of Shri Krishna. And this is how they build their houses in Vrindavan. And again, Shri Krishna grew up because now he's not a baby anymore. So he started going out with the cattle. Balramji and Shri Krishna would say, okay, now I will go with the cattle because now I have to graze them. We are old enough, so you pack us our food and we'll go. But Ma Yashoda would say, you're too old, too young to take the cows. So take the calves. So all the children of Gokul who had moved to Vrindavan for Sri Krishna would take their small little calves and they would go to graze them near the Govardhan hill, near the Yamuna, and they would spend the entire day over there. So this Krishna and Balram now became cowherd boys. है ना, एकदम गैया चराने वाले, simple. His mother would get him ready, pack his food, and he'll send him off. Now just think once, how do we also do this? Now let's just visit back. First in Gokul, what is Gokul? When you think of Gokul, Go means Indriya. Go means cow also. Go means even the sages, but Go means Indriya. So it is the Kul, it is the collection, or it is the collection of the Indriyas. So in Gokul, they were facing problems. So Putna was coming, Shaktasur came, Tridavrat came. Putna is ignorance, right? So Sri Krishna had already taken place. He was living there in Gokul and he was a baby at that time. But once Krishna comes, then ignorance cannot be there. Right? So he drove ignorance away. And once the ignorance is gone, that is when you start realizing that you are going astray, right? Till there is ignorance, till there is delusion. As we say, right, the person who is sleeping would not realize that somebody is awake. But the person who is awake knows that the others are sleeping. For the others to realize that this one is awake and I was sleeping, he also has to wake up. And only when that person wakes up will he realize that this one is awake and the rest are sleeping. And now I have awakened. But till they are sleeping, they do not know anything. So the minute Sri Krishna went to Gokul, the first thing he did was he drove away ignorance to make space. And when ignorance went away, right, there was a change. Although these people were already divine, but if you look at the Adhyatmic point of view, once ignorance goes away, that is when we start realizing that what we have to focus on and what we do not have to focus on, what is our priority, what is not our priority. So that is when he made them realize that yes, spirituality, God is the first path and everything else has to be secondary. During the episode of Shaktasur, what was Shaktasur? Shaktasur is nothing but that tamasic tendency or the rajasic tendency where we are always engrossed in the world. Right? So after that, when Tridavrat came, what is it? When these kind of desires for the worldly life and the worldly material things are there, we are blinded. Just when during a cyclone or a tornado, we get blinded because of the dust. So this is the blinding that happens. So again, Shri Krishna destroyed that blinding of desires also. And he removed the dust. So now our Indriyas are in place. Right? So these Gokulvasis, just look at it. Gokul mein, now they said, okay, so now our Indriyas are in place. We do not want to, indulge. Ignorance has gone away. There is no desire. Let's move on. It's another way of looking at it. So they went to Vrindavan. Right? But just by moving on, kuch ho sakta hai kya? They wanted to protect Sri Krishna, right? So to protect Sri Krishna, they moved from this place to the other. Now when they went there, again Sri Krishna would go, he would graze the cows, he would play, there would be multiple games that they used to play. Like children do. They would somebody would act like a bull, somebody would act like a cow. Sometimes they would play hide and seek like a normal little child who would play. They would form a circle and eat food, and they would take their cattle and walk around an entire day of joy in the lush green surrounding of Govardhan Hills. But once it just so happened that Sri Krishna noticed that amongst the calves actually, there is one calf which is not actually a cow's child. It is a demon called Vatsasur. Now when Vatsasur was there, Sri Krishna did not even think. He went directly to Vatsasur. He caught hold of Vatsasur and immediately killed it. And while he was destroying the demon, he showed his true form. Not only this, after a few days, once again they were playing. At that time, they came and saw Bakasur. Now a huge, kaise bagula kehte hain na, huge crane, standing on one leg. And Shri Krishna saw it. And he went nearby, and it was so huge, its bill was so big, he just engulfed Krishna. It just ate Sri Krishna up. But then he could not swallow him because Krishna started growing up and he became really hot because he had the siddhi. And he threw Krishna out again. And this time, Krishna caught hold of both its beaks and he tore him apart. That was the end of Bakasur. Now Bakasur is also gone, Vatsasur is also gone, but they had left Gokul and they had come to Vrindavan, right? But the attack is still happening. So over here, what is Vatsasur and what is Bakasur? If you go to the depth of it, why Vatsasur was just amongst the calves and he looked like the calves, isn't it? But you had to identify, no, this is not a calf, this is an asur. It happens to all of us. We feel that no, we are doing everything nice. All our emotions are good. All our feelings are good. My mind is thinking in a positive manner. There are no vices and only virtues in me. But suddenly there is something which is disguised as a virtue but is not. बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. A simple example of disguised virtue, disguised vice as a virtue would be when you are trying to help somebody but there is an ego that I am doing it. That is also a vice. It is not a virtue, but it is disguised as a virtue. And for many people, they'll think it is a virtue, right? But it is a big vice. Or when the thought comes that I am good, I am doing everything, that is also a disguised vice only. That is not a virtue. Some simple things when we feel that no, I am actually a very simple example of doing something for your child at the expense of another child. And then you will say, at least I'm doing this for my child. Again, it is a virtue you might think, but it is not. When you say, no, theek hai, this is an extra thing that I'm doing for my child. I'll not share the information with anybody. Simple things like that. Again, we might think that we are giving him an upper level. It's a very simple example, but it is not a virtue. It is a disguised vice. And something that tells us that I am extraordinary. I am kind. Anything, even every action which might seem good and is causing an ego is a disguised vice. Justification that we do, a very simple justification from the material point of view could be when we are immensely saving, इतना है और इतना और जमा कर रहे हैं for our children. It is a virtue, we might think, right? We are such great parents. We are doing so much good for our family and we are saving so much for their future. It is a disguised vice. Because at whose expense are you doing all that? At the expense of somebody's today, you are safeguarding your so-called child's tomorrow. It is a vice or a virtue. This is a great topic of debate. But this is something that we have to think. So over here, even though the ignorance is gone, even though spirituality has come in, even though the material desires are not there anymore, our vision is not blocked anymore, yet that mind you have to be very vigilant that what is going on in that mind. Is it a disguised virtue or it is a virtue? And only who can catch hold of it? Only the Lord. He could identify that this is not a calf. And Bakasur, many a times we think we have accomplished. We are kind people. We are like, if you look at the Bagula, how does he stand? He stands with one leg and he is like meditating and strictly is standing like that. But the minute a fish passes, he'll come and take it. So he's pretending to be something he's not, right? Many a times we pretend to be something we are not. We hide our reality from ourselves. Why? And who can identify that? Only the Lord. Because when we have hidden our reality from ourselves, how can anybody else identify it? So is moving from one place to another an option? That is not. Right? कहाँ जाओगे? Everything is here only. Right? So what has to be done? See, the Gokul Vasis had a very pure thought, because we are looking at it from two different perspectives. One from their perspective, where they were willing to give away everything to protect their Lord. And that is a divine thing. So that is one way of looking at it. Now the other way of looking at it is, what are we achieving by moving places? Because the Lord is there. No matter where we go, we will be attacked, right? So wherever we are, at that moment, we have to be vigilant. कहीं जा नहीं सकते. So now Bakasur is also gone. Vatsasur is destroyed. So no, whether it was Vrindavan or Gokul, the attack is constantly happening. But the beauty of it all is, they have Sri Krishna. In the midst of their existence, they have made a crescent shape, construction where, all the houses are in a crescent shape, so that they can keep looking at Sri Krishna all the time. No matter what they are doing, the thought of the Lord does not go away from their mind. This is the beauty of these people. But are we able to hold on to that kind of a commitment? Are we able to make that kind of a decision? Are we able to hold our mind? Can we just keep our mind connected to the Lord all the time? We can't. It's difficult. And that is what is needed. It comes with a lot of practice. ऐसे ही नहीं होता. What kind of a practice is needed to reach at this level? What kind of a practice is needed to reach at this level? Is it that we just keep thinking about the Lord? Is this the solution? For us, the people like us. Or we need to start expanding our boundaries. Every day, every single day. Thinking beyond our own selfish, four walls. Maybe that is the way. Step by step, expanding it to one such person whom we do not know, or one such thing that is not benefiting us directly. Consciously expanding, consciously reminding ourselves of humility. Consciously, probably once in a day, we think about being humble and giving. And we think, whom should we give to? Then we increase the practice to a more, maybe not once in a day, maybe twice in a day. Then thrice in a day. Probably then we start thinking every 6 hours. Consciously, that this is going to be the time when I'm going to think. I'm going to make myself focus and say, what is going to be my objective for today? What is going to be my act for today? How I'm going to sit and think that everything is going to be benefited by me, or I'm going to be benefited by giving. And slowly, every hour, then every 30 minutes, every 10 minutes, every minute, every second, slowly and slowly, this thought should govern our mind, but it will happen by practice. Practice and doing. Practice and doing. Practice and doing. Because it is not directly now. Gokul Vasis and all, they had done a lot of tap. And Krishna had already come. Because they were to that extent saral. But how do we get him to come? How do we get that divinity to shine from within us? Because it is there. It is not that it is not there, it will come from somebody else or somewhere else. It is there. But how do we get it? By this kind of a commitment. When we look at this entire simple 2-3 stories, if you have to just dissect it first, the people of Gokul, just to save Sri Krishna, were willing to leave everything they knew behind and move to a totally new strange land. Such was their love for their Lord. First point, do we have that kind of a love for the Lord or for our country, for our Sanatan Dharma, that we are willing to leave everything behind to safeguard it. That is where we can say, yes, oh, गोकुल वासियों ने ऐसा करा तो मैं भी ऐसा कर सकता हूँ. नहीं. Because do we have, ठीक है, probably we don't have it for the Lord, because He is very intangible, it is very difficult. So do we have it for our country? Do we have it for our dharma? Something which is tangible. How much distance are we willing to go? How much are we willing to sacrifice? Because over here, you think that Gokulvasis did not have to sacrifice anything. Just imagine the entire village shifting. Why? To protect Shri Krishna. I don't have words to describe their love for Him. Do we have that kind of a love for anything, for which we are willing to give away everything, change everything and move on? Hota hai. There are many people. There have been, in the initial part of the session, we have given that example. There have been kings, there have been princes, there have been people, there have been gurus who have been willing to give away everything to safeguard something they believed in. Do we have that conviction? First thing that this simple episode is teaching us, how far or how much are you willing to give up for the Lord? कितना छोड़ सकते हो तुम? कितना बदल सकते हो तुम? क्या छोड़ सकते हो तुम? Second, He is there. Now He is saying, again, this is one part of it. By moving, kahin pe bhi, we feel that if we shift there, or if we are here, if we are somewhere else, we'll be more calm and we'll be more composed, and then we'll be able to do things. Will that happen? Nothing will happen. Nothing will change. From Gokul to Vrindavan, the demons were still coming. The demons are always going to come. What has to be strong to fight the demons? Our belief in the Lord. If He is there, our belief in Him, our faith in Him is strong. No matter where we are, He will keep fighting the demons. So that does not mean that I have to relocate to a certain place to get a certain thing, to save the Lord, to save Him, to save my bhakti. I have to be at an ashram. No. You can be anywhere. As long as your faith in Him is strong, He will keep fighting all the demons for you. And when these demons like Trishna and all go away, there are subtle demons that start coming. The thoughts, like we said, right? The thoughts, the calves. Like we sometimes, again, as we said, the bagula, we sometimes are deceiving ourselves. That is a very subtle demon, where we think we have accomplished everything. But in the end, nothing has been accomplished. But even in that process, if we have a strong faith in the Lord, if we have strong belief in the Lord, He will fight for us. And when we look at this beautiful episode of when, what is this? I'm forgetting her name suddenly. She gave away all the fruits, not thinking that she has nothing to take home and eat. All she wanted was to give him something. And again, when she was telling him, you need to give me some grain, she knew that he won't be able to hold on to any grain when he comes back. But she wanted to keep looking at him. And then when she felt that he's tired, he cannot walk anymore, it's too hot for him, she said, let it be. You take everything. And she left. Huh? Sukhya. Yes, Sukhya. You leave. She gave him everything without expecting anything. Just for that one look at him. She just wanted to see him nicely. She wanted to carry him. She just wanted him to sit. And she wanted to give. When that kind of a devotion is there, where we are willing to give, where we start thinking about giving to others, and we stop thinking about taking, we have to start thinking about the entire existence of ours from very simple two perspectives. The give and take we have. Every relationship in our world has a give and a take. So how many relationships are take relationships? How many relationships are give relationships? Am I a taker or a giver? From Lord, Hamesha it is a take relationship. Sukhya had a give relationship. Usko dena tha. Usko darshan chahiye the. Usko dena tha. She wanted him to be safe. She did not want him to walk in the sun. She did not want him to, be deprived of the juicy fruits. It was okay if she went hungry. That kind of a strong devotion. And for that, she did a lot of stuff. Every time she would keep thinking about Krishna, keep thinking about Krishna, keep thinking about Krishna. And in the end, again, he gave her unasked. But giving and taking was never the objective. So we have to clearly see what kind of an individual am I? Am I a giver or am I a taker? Simple. Jada दूर ही मत जाओ. How much do I give to the nature, give to my environment, and how much do I take from it? If you take more than you give, a disaster is prone to happen. How much am I giving back? We never think about it. We think about taking. We take from the ocean, from the rivers, we take from the trees, we keep taking from everything, not thinking how much have I given back. So we are mega takers. Even from any relationship we want to take. From people we want to take. From animals also we want to take their loyalty, their affection. They run after me. If the animal stops running after you, the animal behaves in a certain manner, you will just chuck him. Happens to a lot of dogs and cats. So we are mega takers. In this entire episode of a simple story, there is nothing much to it. It's a little boy who is being attacked. The village moves to save him. Over there also he's being attacked. They did not even realize how powerful he is. And he is destroying the demons. He is playing in the cow fields. He is taking the calves out. What is so interesting about it? छोटी सी तो लीला इसमें है क्या? But why do we keep thinking about it again and again? Why? Because this little boy, this extraordinary little boy, tells us that he comes, God comes. He came then, he can come now. And more so, आप इनको देखो ना, he is also a giver. He never thinks about himself. When you look at the Krishna Leela, you feel that, how much sacrifice did he make? From the very childhood, all he's thinking about is giving. He's never thinking about what I will be. Will I benefit or not? Will I get hurt or not? He never thinks about him first. Whenever there is a problem, whenever Vatsasur comes, Putna comes, Tridavrat comes, or again Bakasur comes, he is going to go and fight. We would be the people who would run away. How much are we willing to step ahead and save other people? How much of a risk are we willing to take? How much are we willing to compromise? होता ही नहीं है. It is really sad. He walked the earth 5,000 years back. But when we look at our itihas, we see that people like him, Shri Krishna जैसे बहुत थे. Guru Gobind ले लो, Maharana Pratap ले लो. So many of them who were willing to go into that uncomfortable zone for others. When will we learn from these? These, if we keep reading them and we don't imbibe anything, there is no use, isn't it? What is the point of and many a times, even when we are reading the Leelas and all, we are trying to derive from them a benefit for us that will give us peace. Isme bhi the feeling of getting something is there. Right? What do we want? Shanti chahiye hame. Sukh chahiye hame. Hamare ko kuch chahiye hamare granthon se bhi. Why do we listen to the scriptures? It gives me peace. It gives me peace. Right? Why is that the objective? Why is it that something or the other should always give something to me? Right? So this thought has to be, in this particular session, the only thing I can think about is, firstly, how much are we willing to sacrifice for the greater good? Right? And greater good chodo, how much are we willing to sacrifice for our Sanatan Dharma? How much are we willing to sacrifice for our Lord? Simple questions. I'm repeating it again because these are the questions that never come to our mind. We are always so engrossed in our immediate things that that distant resolution of things is not visible to us. So over here, they are giving us an example of how far you can go to protect something you love. Otherwise, Nanda Baba and Yashoda could have shifted, right? Why did the entire village go? It was only Sri Krishna who was attacked. Nobody else was being attacked. But so they could have said, it's your problem, deal with it. हम यही करते हैं ना. Till the problem is not ours, why should I bother? My life is good, no? Let them bother. But the day somebody else's problem gives you tears in your eyes, that is the day when change will happen. We keep saying, okay, after Satyug, Dwapar comes. After Dwapar, after Satyug, Treta comes. Then Dwapar comes. Then Kalyug comes. And the cycle goes on. Dwapar comes. Treta comes. Kalyug comes. Satyug will come. Satyug will not come. Nothing comes. You have to move towards that, right? When each and every individual starts getting elevated, धीरे धीरे कलयुग जाएगा, सत्युग आएगा नहीं. सत्युग को लाना पड़ेगा. As many people as we can, as many people become elevated to that level of consciousness where they are not givers anymore, they are not takers anymore, they are givers, they are not selfish anymore, they are selfless, then only will Kalyug go and Satyug come, right? So Satyug will not come without any effort. Everybody will have to elevate themselves to that level where we'll say, yes, now things are good. But we feel that we do not have to change. Somebody else has to change. Somebody else has to make a change. Or it will happen eventually. It won't happen. Over here also, we can see every time, the beauty is in every session, we see the effort that is being put in. My Yashoda is churning. She's churning. What is she churning? She's churning. What is the symbol? What is dahi, doodh and all? I do not know whether we talked about it in the last class. Milk dissolves in water, isn't it? Did we discuss this? No. Or I do not remember. But if you churn the milk and butter comes out, butter does not dissolve, right? Over here, Sri Krishna likes butter because butter will not dissolve. Butter is that refined thing which will not go back to delusion, right? If you put milk into water, it will be lost. But you put butter into water, will it be lost? No matter what, it won't be lost. So every time they are talking about butter, churning has to happen inside. The churning that my Yashoda is doing is not outside, it is inside. All that our scriptures are talking about, yes, it happened, it is history. But the entire implication can be taken within us also. Every time when we think about Gokul, think about this body and the Indriyas, right? When we think about all the demons, think about all the vices that we are. Ignorance hai, krodh hai, ahankar hai, kaam, krodh, ahankar, moh, lobh, matsarya, mad, ye sab. One by one, these are the demons that are attacking us. Gokul is here only, right? Krishna is also here only. But we have to offer that much love to him so that he can fight for us. That belief should be there so that he can actually start working through us. That commitment should be there that yes, no matter what, I'll keep you alive, I'll keep you safe. See, how can we keep him safe? Now, this is a very beautiful question. How can we keep the Lord safe? How can we keep the human in us safe? Lord to chodo. How? Kaise rakhe? It is very difficult, isn't it? That seedhi si baat hai. The thought that I want to become a giver, not a taker, right? I want to give more than I take. How do I keep this thought alive? Very simple. How do I keep this thought alive? How do I protect it? Like they protected Sri Krishna, right? A crescent shape, we can keep seeing him. We shifted location. Entire objective of their life was to keep Sri Krishna safe. Now the entire objective of our life has to become that. But how do we work on it? For that, every minute, like we said, right? We have to check. And there'll be a lot of things that we have to give up. It is not a path where, you can see that there are two boats and you can put legs on both the boats and go. It's not possible. You have to choose a boat. And once you choose a boat, once you have decided, okay, this is what I want, and then you start working on it. You put in all the effort till it becomes effortless. And when it becomes effortless, the journey starts. You put in all the effort and churning, all the effort. And when do you stop churning is when the butter is there. Right? But till then, the effort is going on continuously. When you know that now, no matter what, we would not dissolve, that is when you stop, right? But usme bhi again, you burn it, you turn it into ghee, you put it in a pot, and you light a lamp, and then a wind comes, the lamp can blow it off. So, theek hai, that's a different thing right now. So, over here, there is only one thing that is again and again coming to my mind. How far are we willing to go? Nothing else. Seedha sa hai, how far are we willing to go to protect the Lord? And if we are willing to go that extra mile, He will also take that 100 more steps, right? Otherwise, He'll lie dormant in us. Khatam. Right. What do you think? What is coming to your mind over here? Anything particular?
The only thing that I'm getting again and again is look within us. Like the Gokul example was so perfect. Everything is there within us, and Krishna is there now. It's left up to us whether we protect Krishna or we let the demons, rule us and the Indriyas rule us, and we just go ahead with that, or do we shift our mind and everything and make one boundary, like, see, this is what it is now. I can protect Krishna if I am in that crescent shape, keep my thoughts and my Indriyas in a way to control, or however we can put it across, like what the villagers did. We have to do with our thoughts, our Indriyas, our beliefs, everything to only one
basically,
thing, Krishna.
Shri Krishna. But it is not easy, isn't it?
It is not easy.
It is not easy.
It's only I'm telling, or we are sitting here, but I don't know even if 0.1% is possible as easily as we are talking.
But we know that there have been people who have been able to do this.
Yes.
If you look at Mirabai, right? And think of Mirabai. Why go far, Think of Mirabai.
Gave up
Everything. She had so much. She was a princess, married in a very royal family. What did she not have? Right? But for her love for the Lord, कहते ना, ऐसी लागी लगन मीरा हो गई मगन, वो तो गली गली हरि गुण गाने लगी, महलों में पली बन के जोगन चली, मीरा रानी दीवानी कहाने लगी. इसी के लिए कहते ना, एक कोई ऐसी मीरा होती है, बट होती है, राइट? हो सकता है, पर हम क्यों नहीं करना चाहते is a big question mark that we have to answer. Because we have examples in front of us, right? We have. I mean, recently, why vividly this thought of how much are we willing to give up came, because yesterday, you must have met her, one lady who comes to the satsang. She was there. She is leaving actually. So she met and we were talking, and then she shared a beautiful poem about Maharana Rana Pratap, right? And how, what was the name of, but the place is, wait, I'll show you. It is Haldi Ghati, right? The Haldi Ghati battle between Maharana Pratap and of course a lot of other Man Singh Ji and all, and especially Akbar, and how the thought process was, and how he did not give in. He said, I'm not going to give in my land, my country. I'm not going to give in. I'll fight. Handful of them, swarms of the other. And the entire battle in 7, 8, 9 series, he has explained that entire poetry. It shakes you. All we are over here, when we are talking about spirituality, we feel it is distant, right? Right? ठीक है, भगवान, ये करना है, वो करना है. But there are people who are willing to go that extra mile, leave their entire... He had no problem. He would have maintained his own castle. He could have, also... what do we say? He could have also accepted Akbar as his rule. He did not. He fought for his motherland. He said, not at all. I'm not going to let this happen. So much so that his children, his family had to go hungry. Rotis of grass they were eating. When you read, when you listen to it, it is like as if you go through a trance and think, "Ki, what kind of people were they? And what kind of people have we become? What kind of people were they and what kind of people have we become?" Why? Why did this degradation of us who have such a rich heritage happen? Why did people who were such big givers became such pathetic takers? Where did that link break? What happened? What went wrong? What went wrong? And today we are giving rise to a generation of takers only. Our entire emphasis is on material gains. How many times will you tell our children कि नहीं, whether this happens or not, Krishna is important. No matter what, ये नहीं छूटना चाहिए, बाकी सब छूटे तो छूटेगा. Do we have the courage to tell it to our children? No. Everything else is secondary, marks आने चाहिए. Right? Everything else is secondary, ये तो बाद में कर लोगे. No. How do we show them the conviction that no matter what, even if hell breaks loose, अगर इतनी बजे हमें बैठना है तो हम बैठ के पाठ करेंगे चाहे घर में कोई भी आ जाए. Simple example, right? No matter what. If you look at the Gokul Vasis, right? This is what that was. No matter what happens, if Krishna is there, full attention will be on Krishna. No matter what happens, if Krishna needs to be protected, that is a priority. No matter what happens, do we have that conviction? No, we can read Bhagavad on and on and on and on and listen to his beautiful leelas and go into the depth of describing it. But the essence of it is simple. कितना चलने को आप तैयार हो? कितना छोड़ने को आप तैयार हो? See, that Krishna is growing, right? In Gokul, you see, beautiful. Now in Vrindavan, it is going to be a Bal Leela. Now he's not a baby anymore. He's not taking makhan or it. He is going to have a different Leela altogether. He is growing. What makes Sri Krishna grow in us? When we look at it, he is growing. He was a baby, small baby. Now, he is growing. That bhakti, that blossom, that divine is growing. What does it take for him to grow in us? What does it take for us to blossom? That is the question. And they are telling us. Again and again they are telling us. Everything else becomes secondary. When that becomes primary, that is when it will bloom and grow. Till then, kuch bhi nahi hoga. Till then, kuch bhi nahi hoga. And again, and I do not know. And they are giving us so many different examples, so many different sweet stories. They are telling us that even when they used to go with the calves and all, everybody would surround Sri Krishna and sit. He would be in the middle, everybody will surround him and they will sit. So every time he would be the center of their existence. Not for once did they allow him to be in the corner. And this is why it is called Nirodh Leela. What is Nirodh? When you detach from everything else and you attach to the Lord. Very simple. See, Bhagavad, if you look at it, I'll just pull that out. It's very simple. It's not a random compilation of stories, right? Bhagavad, it is very simple. If you look at, again, let's go back to the basic objective of Bhagavad. What is it? What should be done under all circumstances by man who is under the verge of death? We all should remember that we are under the verge of death, right? We do not know how long we have. And now, what should be done by a man in general? What should a mortal do at all times and under all circumstances? What should they hear? What should they repeat? What should they keep in their mind? What should they resort to? What should they avoid? Right? And then these questions are being answered in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana. Nothing else. This Granth is not going here or there, or we cannot, many people would say, okay, this Granth is teaching us how to live like this, or how to behave like this, how to in a social situation. ठीक है, you can take it like that, but this Granth is very simple. It is a Mahapuran, and when you're talking, it's not all the Purans are not given the name Mahapuran. Bhagavad is a Mahapuran. It is the last book which was written by Ved Vyas ji. And then he rested in peace. Ki yes. So this is not a Granth to be implemented in the material world. Yes, if you're living in the material world, but this is for your spiritual awakening only. We can, twist and turn and say, okay, this is also we are learning from this. This is what we are learning. ठीक है, वो सब ठीक है. It goes. But the entire thing is we are at the verge of dying. And to have a death like that, how should we live? What should we hear? What should we repeat? What should we keep in mind? All these things are being answered. Because in Chatushloki Bhagavad, this Bhagavad was only 4 shloks given to Brahmaji by that divine. Right? Only 4 shloks. And even to Ved Vyasji, Brahmaji gave only 4 shloks. And which was expanded to 18,000 verses by Ved Vyasji for our understanding. So in that 4 verses, he talks about Brahman. What is that divine? What is Maya? And simple after that, what is this world? And how to reach that Brahman or the self. Brahman and the self is not different from the... So this is all that is the Bhagavad about. From next session, we'll start doing the Chatushloki Bhagavad. It is very simple. Very only 5 minutes of chanting and the entire Bhagavad is done. And the entire Bhagavad, these 18,000 verses, are to explain these 4 verses. What is Brahman? What is the world? What is Maya? And how to reach my Brahman. That is it. There is no twisting or turning कि नहीं, this is not what the Bhagavad is saying. No, this is the objective of the Bhagavad. So अगर भागवत सुनने आए हो तो वो spirituality के लिए ही है, वो प्रभु प्राप्ति के लिए ही है. It is for you to realize your true divine self. Full stop. Bhagavad is not trying to give any other message. And every skand every chapter has a region. First is the Adhikari skand, we did, first book. Then Sadhana skand, the second book. Then is Sarg, the third book. Visarg, the creation, they talk about the creation. Then we did Sthiti, okay? Poshan, one more. And we went on, and now that the book we are reading is Krishna Leela, right? It is Nirodh skand. What is Nirodh? Nirodh is nothing but how does one control the mind to love the Lord? How do I detach from this world and attach to the Lord? So whether we like it or not, that is the basic foundation of this chapter. तो भार samarpan, bhakti, Bhagwan तो आएंगे ही ना. Because the objective of the chapter is Nirodh. Detached from the world, attached to the Lord, leave the love for the world. कहते हैं ना, Ramji says, who gathers all those strings which are, all the love to all the people that you have, attachment ya love, jo bhi bolo, and you gather all the strings from everybody else and you direct it to the Lord. That is what is truly needed. Where we start pulling back one string at a time and divert all the attention to the Lord. बहुत मुश्किल है. Probably nobody wants to do it, but this is what it has to be done. Otherwise, nothing will happen. The growth of divinity is not possible. If you don't protect him, how will he grow? Simple si baat hai na. So, and then comes Mukti and Ashraya. After this, after you have actually surrendered, you have already detached and you have attached totally from the Lord, you have fallen in love with him and nothing else exists. You're not a giver, you're not a taker from the world, you're not even a taker from the Lord. That is when Mukti will happen, right? That is when Mukti and surrender can happen. Otherwise, it won't happen. And this is Nirodh Leela. So whenever we are reading the Bhagavad, for every book, there is a main objective. So unless and until you do not know the objective and you blindly read the stories, multiple interpretations can come out, right? But the objective is what? Detached from the world, attached to the Lord. The objective is simple. It is written, how does one control the mind to love the Lord? When the objective is that, the entire Leela is only that. Different ways, different methods of teaching us how to reach there. Now, like a baby. We are babies only, right? Otherwise, वो तो 4 श्लोक में हमें समझ आ जाता.
That's not like telling us stories, making us understand, making it important.
And the Lord came down also. He comes down. He is there. He is showing us, see, I am here. I am fighting for you. I am willing to destroy each and every demon to protect you. How far are you willing to go to protect me?
Not really.
Gokul Vasis, even if they did not move away from Gokul to Vrindavan, the Lord would have protected them only. This was just their love. Does the Lord need that kind of a protection? And in spite of all this trouble, the beauty is when you look at Nanda Baba and Yashoda, they are very joyous. Over here they say, right, life's hardship cannot be experienced by Nanda Baba. Do you think it was not a hardship to see her child going through for Ma Yashoda and Nanda Baba, to see their child going through so much of trouble? Right? Of course, it was not a hardship to make that strong decision of shifting. It was not a hardship to leave everything and move. It was not a hardship. Of course, but they did not feel it. They did not feel any hardship because they were so immersed in their love for Shri Krishna. All the hardships were like nothing to them. So, aisa nahi hai ki the hardships were not coming. They were there. The demons were coming, the shifting was happening, everything was happening. Later on, we'll see how Indra attacked, this happened, that happened. But there was no sorrow, there was no agony. In spite of all the turmoil around them, they were at peace and they were joyous. With whatever little they had, they were happy. Why? Because they had Shri Krishna. And when we have everything in this world, but we do not have Shri Krishna, we do not have God, no matter what we have, we can never be at peace. We can never be happy. There can never be Anand. No matter how many friends you have, if you do not have this one friend, there will always be a vacuum. And and it happens. कहते हैं ना कि there is this is once I had written this. There's a poetry. सब कुछ है मेरे पास, न जाने क्या है खोया. सब कुछ है मेरे पास, न जाने क्या है खोया. खुशियों की निकली बारात और मेरा दिल रोया. खुशियों की निकली बारात और मेरा दिल रोया. ना जाने कैसी जंग लड़ रहे हैं हम. ना कोई गम है, ना उदासी, फिर भी तड़फ रहे हैं हम. See, this happens to all of us, right? कि बारात, everything is there, but why is there sadness in my heart? What is wrong? कैसी है ये उलझन? क्यों ये सब लिख रहे हैं हम? खुद ना समझ पाए, औरों को समझाने चले हैं अपना गम. So what is that one thing that is missing? It is the Lord. And if you realize it, once He comes, all those fragmented bits which looked so incomplete without anybody becomes complete. सीधी सी बात है ना. And this is the story of each and every person's life, whether they show it or not. Everybody is struggling for happiness. For that one moment of joy, we do everything for what? Happiness, isn't it? And what if we change our direction like this? Like Sukhya, like the Gokul Vasis. Do everything not for happiness. No matter what the hardship, everything will be done for Krishna only. And then what will happen? And then He'll make sure that everything is happening as per your wish. If you are protected, you don't go through any suffering. Just like Nanda Baba and Yashoda, no matter what, you will always be joyous. Why? Because He has taken charge. For you are acting for Him and He is acting for you. जब हनुमान जी कहते हैं ना, राम काज कीने बिनु मोहे कहा विश्राम, तो जब हनुमान जी राम का कार्य कर रहे होते हैं तो राम हनुमान जी का कार्य कर रहे होते हैं. कहते हैं ना, when Ram ji asked him, how is it Hanuman that you jumped such a big ocean? And when Hanuman ji starts talking, he mixes the sequences up. He said, I jumped the ocean, I burned Lanka, I killed Akshay Kumar, so and so. And it's all jumbled up. And he says, what did I do? I am a monkey. I just jumped from branch to branch. It is only your Mahima that so much happened. Right? It is His Prabhu Pratap that everything happens then. But for that, this kind of a commitment, this kind of a love, this kind of a dedication has to happen. नहीं होगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा. फिर then we'll spend our entire life saying this, है ना, कि पता नहीं क्या है, क्यों तड़फ रहे हैं हम. Yes. So this is what this session compiled with Maharana Rana Pratap's beautiful battle and beautiful belief system really shook me up. Sometimes you become speechless, and then there is nothing much to say. You can go on and describe all the, it could have been done where, Bakasur ko aise mara, Vatsasur ke saath aise kiya. It's beautiful to talk like that, but there are some times when there is a kind of a silence in your heart, Yesterday till 12 o'clock, I was listening to all the 6 episodes, 20 minutes, and I realized कि why go so far? इतिहास गवाह है कि ऐसा हो सकता है. Then what other praman, what other proof are we looking for?
You're always looking for proof.
Always looking for proof, because in our immediate vicinity, we can't see it. But if you open your eyes, even in your immediate vicinity, you will see light shining here and there. Not many, because PhD is not for all, right? So, but sometimes there is this utter silence where not many words can explain. And this is what it is about today. It's a beautiful Leela which could have been described in much more flowery languages, but it does not need too much of a description. In one word, one line, आप कितना दे सकते हो, कितना छोड़ सकते हो, क्या कर सकते हो भगवान के लिए. It is all about giving, not taking. It is anything else, Kasturi?
Every day there's some learning. And in every class there is something that I take again.
It is. Every class I also take something or the other, and then it mesmerizes.
There is something to take and
Ponder on.
ponder on, and I think somewhere maybe not as much as they are telling us, but somewhere very little goes into the head and it just stays there. And
Yes.
When you're doing that thing, it suddenly hits you. Okay, it's not like that. You always did like that. Now it's not like that. Think the other way. So
Yes,
that
it
is
happens.
what I am taking.
If we keep, इसे कहते हैं ना, consistently, if we keep digging in the same place, sooner or later, the realization will happen. So that is all that is to it, I think.
I think every session is new. Even though you listen again and again, it's again something new. It's again something learning. Today's learning is like Gokul and protecting Krishna and nurturing Krishna, because otherwise he'll remain like a dormant seed and we will go.
Yeah.
That's it. It's up to us.
It's
We
up to
want
us.
Bring him up and make him a center of our life, or
It is a choice, right?
yeah, I think
We all have a choice. Gokul Vasis could have had that choice that आप लोग जाओ, you go away. They could have said, no, this boy is bringing all the problem. Could they not say that? Ever since Krishna has come, demons and so much turmoil is happening. This boy is not for us. You take him away. होता है ना?
very much.
Did they do that? No. No matter what the problem, no matter how dangerous the demons, how hideous or how scary, nothing. They were hell-bent no matter what. कृष्ण नहीं छोड़ेंगे. कृष्ण नहीं छोड़ेंगे. और जो ऐसा सोच लेता है, उसको कृष्ण भी नहीं छोड़ते. सही. चलो, we'll close the class. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की, जय बोलो हनुमान की। बोलो बजरंग बली की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान।